Breathe a sigh of relief. You made it to Strongly Financial, a weekly live web series dedicated to elevating your financial literacy and cultivating your overall health and well-being. Your co-hosts are Dr. Michael A. Wright and Ali Leonard. Their respective expertise in holistic wellness and financial consulting positions them perfectly to guide you toward optimal well-being and unrivaled financial success. Please allow me to introduce them further. The incomparable Ali Leonard. As a credit guru, Mr. Leonard has dedicated himself to fostering financial literacy in students of all ages. He has developed a comprehensive credit awareness curriculum that is suitable for elementary, high school, and college students. Mr. Leonard has traveled the country, providing credit awareness seminars to high schools, colleges, churches, and private organizations. Mr. Leonard has worked tirelessly with federal credit agencies, financial services, and real estate agencies, earning a strong reputation for his professionalism and expertise. Mr. Leonard is committed to educating and training consumers as well as assisting them practically to fix their credit. The company he founded, Financial Services Unlimited, offers credit consultation, credit services, and financial services including insurance for financial repair and wealth management. Join his supportive online community, FSU team, empowering you to take control of your financial future. Dr. Michael A. Wright. Dr. Michael A. Wright is a highly accomplished and respected professional in the fields of social work, coaching, publishing, and consulting. With a wealth of experience and expertise, he has dedicated his career to helping individuals and organizations achieve their goals and make a positive impact in their communities. As the CEO and lead executive coach at More Media Group, Dr. Wright specializes in helping individuals tell their stories and translate their ideas into capital. With interventions based on his signature contribution, creating opportunities and changing horizons, the coach method, he continues to focus on trauma-informed, holistic, and transformational approaches to personal and professional development. Join the vibrant online community at wealthcarebymoremedia.com, where he promotes practical habits of health in 4 key domains: brain, body, mind, and spirit. And I am your virtual host, Bartholomew Socrates. You can call me Bart. I introduce the ideas, the segments, and the opportunities as we explore the intersection of health and wealth weekly on Strongly Financial.
Strongly Financial. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, my brother. Doing wonderful, man. How about yourself?
I am doing well.
Good.
We've got a lively topic today.
Yes, we do.
I know the cycle of events, the tax time is upon us, the final deadline. Most of the folks I know have completed that process and gotten their money and spent their money in a lot of cases. So weave in some discussions about that during the day. But our main topic today is really the psychology of spending, the larger questions around spending, and the psychology, really getting into this impulse buying, setting up really your second and third quarter to be your best quarters, even though some of our friends have kind of done what they did with that tax refund. Now, granted, some of y'all understand that it's not a tax refund. It's not guaranteed as a tax refund every year.
Right.
But when you do get a refund, that's the situation to focus on, is what are you doing with that money? How are you utilizing that money throughout the whole year?
Right.
If you need to. So that's the situation. What's going on with you?
Man, everything is going well. We got a few things that we need to talk about off the camera that we are very excited about and moving forward with. But actually, this week has been, it's been amazing.
Cool.
God is always showing who He is and who's in control, and so we're on that very high frequency.
Definitely. Stay.
Yes.
That's the place to be. I keep, it's big. The happiness training is going on my site, but even more than that, I'm really recognizing and coming to grips with the idea of continuing, no matter what it looks like.
Right.
It doesn't matter what it looks like. It matters what it is.
Exactly.
So the downs, the downtime, the sad times, the rain outside, that's just one piece of it. That's just looking at it currently. But there's a bigger picture, and that bigger picture is rigged in your favor.
It is.
That's what I'm recognizing. And there was a couple of months ago, I was in that space where I had to believe it because I couldn't see it. And I just had to,
Been there.
right? Just believe it because I couldn't see it, and just get busy, get to work.
Right.
But I'm starting to see some of it now.
Yes.
And it's important to stay encouraged about how you maintain even when you're starting to see it.
Right.
So because that cycle is just the real cycle.
It is a real cycle, and definitely my hat's off to you, because we've had a lot of conversations in depth in the past, and of course your encouragement to me as well. When you don't always see, faith is basically things that you really can't see physically right now.
That's it.
But you got to trust the process.
The process.
As long as you continue to do that, man, you don't know what's behind the next bend or the curve or valley or mountain. It's amazing.
Definitely.
It's amazing.
Very cool. Well, let's get into this so we can get done with this and get to the off-camera discussion. I'm excited now. Let's put you on blast with the final week that people can get into this course that you're running, or else they're going to have to wait until you get done in another 6 weeks. So sponsored by the CAP training. We'll get into it. Sign up for the online course of the Credit Awareness Program, CAP for short, where participants explore key topics such as credit bureaus, credit reports, credit scores, debt elimination, and budgeting. Through a dynamic approach involving cognitive activities, effective reflections, and value integration exercises, learners will not only gain a comprehensive understanding of financial concepts, but also explore their broader implications in society. By examining the intersection of finance with justice, equity, and inclusivity, participants will develop a nuanced perspective on how financial decisions impact individuals and communities. Well, that all sounds impressive, but let's break it down. This program is designed to help you achieve more money in your pocket
get ahead of your bills, and have the confidence to walk into a dealership and have them ask you, which one do you want? Instead of, what do you want? Learn how to effectively manage your money and track your expenses to ensure financial success. In the bonus week, week 9, we'll cover the exciting topics of life insurance and investments to further enhance your knowledge and flexibility in your financial planning. Former students are saying that this course changed their financial options from dim and disaster to purpose and prosperity. They say it's the best investment you can make toward your financial success, short of hiring a personal finance coach. Enrollment is limited to 25 spots, so sign up early to secure your place. Take advantage of the special offer and get a 50% discount using the promo code SPRING50%, reducing the price from $3.99 from that regular price of $7.99. Hurry and register now at www.fsucredithelp.com/classes. Enrollment is on a first come, first served basis, so act fast and secure your spot today.
All right.
Yes.
And so into week 2, and we're getting into week 3 is next week. So folks got to jump on that. Exciting because we're putting it on record. So
Yes.
that's going to be really cool to launch as well. Bart, why don't you take us into the psychology of spending with our timely tips?
Thank you, Dr. Wright. Timely tips, addressing impulse buying. Welcome, esteemed listeners, to the segment of Timely Tips, where we invite you to embark on an engaging exploration of the riveting topic of impulse buying triggers. Prepare to open the door to valuable insights that will connect the psychology behind these triggers with your own purchase behaviors. Our aim is to arm you with a profound understanding of the psychological and emotional factors that influence impulsive purchases. Through this understanding, coupled with practical strategies specifically tailored to your unique needs, we empower you with the ability to navigate these triggers effectively. Unraveling the intricacies of impulsive spending will equip you with the tools necessary to make informed decisions and cultivate a mindful approach to your financial choices. As we journey together into the depths of impulse buying, we chart a path towards more deliberate and purposeful spending habits. Through the merger of our expertise and empathy, we shine a light on the transformative potential that lies within you. Join us as we illuminate the path towards financial empowerment, providing you with the guidance and support needed to unlock the potential for greater control over your financial well-being. Back to you two gentlemen.
So it's impulse buying in this first segment. And I think for me, it starts with a story, because I really did not know what I know now. And that's a thing that I want to communicate to every person who listens to this broadcast. You don't have to know it right away. That's why we're excited about doing this podcast. That's why we put together trainings. That's why we speak to people about this and connect with audiences about these topics. You don't have to know this right away.
Right.
And I remember I was actually still in college, and it was, on college campuses, they're running to give you credit cards. And I had just gotten this new girlfriend, and we were going to have a couples night at her house. And all she had was a little small black and white television. And she had that black and white television with the little box on top for the cable. You remember this, right? And I said, you know what? Let's go and buy you a television. And I got her this. It's hilarious now to think about it, but 32-inch color TV. And I mean, this is gonna be like the coolest thing, right?
Right.
And we while we were at it, I said, you know what? You should get furniture. All we had was a little couch, right? So I got a credit card from Sears. She got a credit card from the furniture store, and we bought this stuff just for the one night. Just for the one night. And
wow.
It was about $2,000 that we spent on credit that night. And I felt like it was for a good cause. And that's my whole point with telling the story.
Right.
Impulse buying, people think it's the checkout line and buying the candy. That's your impulse buying. No, impulse buying is you have a really good reason in your head why you should buy it. But truth be told, we should have played board games, and had some chips and dips and called it a night, a great night.
Right, a great night.
For some reason, I wanted to, make the house a home kind of situation. I had a good reason, but those were impulse buys.
That's funny.
Right.
But I mean, we all have stories, like that.
Right.
And like you stated, it's not the small purchases that we get caught up in. It's the major ones, and we do trick ourselves in thinking that this is the right thing to do. It's okay to do this. I can handle it. But after it's done, and the next day, it don't have to even be a week. It can be the next day. You're like, man, what have I done?
Yeah.
What have I done? You know what I'm saying? Set myself up for failure, basically. It's something that we all have experienced. And like you made the point, it's okay that you don't know or you start now, but some people never start. You know what I'm saying? They go through your whole life, they're spending whenever they get something in their hands, any extra money. They don't save it, they don't invest it, they blow it.
Yeah. And I'm gonna beat up on people for a little bit, even though I'm saying I understand. I'm gonna talk about a couple of examples that I've heard about recently, and it's just people do this every year, and I want your thoughts on this because this is why I love this podcast, because I want to put it to you because I get all in my feelings about stuff and I talk about stuff, but I don't have 20, 30 years of experience, right? I just have like my own kind of stories and stuff like that. But you tell me what you think about this, because this is I think it's more of a pet peeve of mine than a real financial coaching point, but I make it sound like a good point.
Right.
Really a pet peeve. So it's really what I went through. It's what I did. Right. So I know of a couple of instances where people got their tax return, their tax refunds, and they went and made major purchases. So the big thing is when you get an apartment, and I know a young lady, she just got an apartment. She, was working to get back on her feet. She got her apartment and she used her tax refund to get into the apartment. Cool, got you. She took out a portion of that and went and spent and bought some stuff for herself and her kids. Got good job. Still, good job. What got me is when she bought living room furniture with her money. That's where I draw the line.
Right.
I want people to forego the living room furniture for 1, 2, 3 years if that's what it takes you to get the rest of your finances on track. Case in point, it's now April and she's in her apartment. She's got her furniture, but she has no cash. The cash is all gone.
Right.
So she budgeted it out, but it's gone.
Right.
And that hurts my heart because it not only hurts my heart, but it used to hurt my pocketbook when I was a bit more generous. Because you know those people, when they're friends of yours, you know they're gonna need some help.
Yeah.
Through, at some point throughout the year.
Right.
And it's hard because again, those are impulse buys. Because I want people to understand there is no rule that you have to buy furniture for your apartment. Get you it. I would say, and you tell me, if you want to correct me, you correct me. But get a good bed and a good mattress. That's health right there. But furniture for the living room, bro, get some folding chairs, couple of air mattresses or whatever, get some pillows, but spending $2,000 on furniture, please don't do that to yourself.
Whew. I can probably talk about this for a year straight, nonstop.
I see the clients already going through your mind.
Man, it's not that they do it one time. It's like over and over and over and over again, and it's like they don't really get it. They don't understand. Like you said, April, it's gone. You got 8 more months in this year alone that you now have spent this $6,000, $5,000, whatever it is, nothing put aside, not paying, your rent up for a couple months, giving you some flexibility. And, a lot of times we get so caught up in what society has brainwashed us to think. That we got to have this right now. We got to have this right now. And we don't have to do that. We it's okay, to get your apartment. Yeah, that's fine and dandy. But, people go out. Not only do they buy furniture, they buy, 75-inch TVs, stereo systems. They buy a car every year from a used car dealership and put $3,000-4,000 sound system in it, rims, and I mean the car's not even worth what they put into it, of course. And 2, 3 months, 6 months down the road, the car breaks down. They ain't got no insurance. I mean, so it's really a sad situation when individuals continue to do that over and over and over again. Yeah, and it is something that's psychologically not registering with them, and that's something that we have to stop. We don't have to spend $2,000 on furniture. There are a lot of places that sell furniture that are secondhand stores, Goodwills, and trust me, we do a lot of browsing through these stores, and you can't you like surprised at some of the stuff they have in there for the prices. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, you don't have to go to the name brand stores and rent to owns, and I mean that's another waste of energy and time and money. Rent to own. So you could have bought 4 couches by the time you finish paying for that one. So it has to stop, but they have to continue to suffer. It's like tough love. With your parents, hey, they always coming to me, always coming to you. And at some point, you're like, you know what? I don't have it. I can't do it. You got to be able to deal with it.
Yeah. That's what I had to learn.
And that's hard. You know what I'm saying? That's hard to develop. But, we always talk about the mindset. You gotta change your mindset and look at what am I trying to accomplish. Yeah, I'm gonna go buy a nice, comfortable mattress, and the rest of it I'm gonna add as we go. I'm gonna go to a marketplace on Facebook. I'm gonna go to some of these sites that have people selling good quality stuff, on it, and just build from there.
Definitely, and that's that's so important. The mindset. Sharifa said the mind science. Definitely the mind science.
Yes.
And then someone wrote in, but we get caught on this and those nice things that have some discount on it. So those marketing packets, you know how that is.
Right.
But the sale, it was on sale, and knowing that the company is really giving you the cost at retail markup as opposed to the wholesale cost.
Right.
But yeah, that's some more stuff we could talk about in terms of buying strategies. We should probably do an episode on buying strategies.
Yes, definitely.
But definitely, if we go through some real tips for people to end with this segment, wait 24 hours. Don't feel like you have to buy it if it's on sale and all that stuff. It's going to be off sale, unless you're really getting a steal to where you're looking at it like it really is from Goodwill and you're getting that type of deal. Okay, but if you're not getting that type of deal, it can wait.
Yes.
And especially for the types of things that we're talking about, like you said, the status and those kinds of things. Don't get caught up in the status. Live according to your means, and you're going to be blowing status out of the water if you just do that. And I tell people it's only 3 months. If you are really disciplined for 3 months, it'll not only get easier, but also you'll have that cushion.
Yes.
That you were talking about, Ali.
Yes.
The second thing I think we don't put enough on is identify your triggers, please. If when you get sad, or when your mama don't answer the phone, or whatever is going on in your life where you feel like you need to go spend some money.
Right.
My sister calls it retail therapy.
Yep.
She sometimes that retail therapy feels good. Sometimes it's Starbucks. Sometimes it's a new car every year. Sometimes it's the latest pair of shoes. You got to get that red bottom, and you didn't search around for the deal like you normally do because you need that. You were triggered into it.
Right.
So know what those triggers are. Take time to reflect on that. Resist the marketing tactics that are out there. If you can't watch the jewelry channel without buying something, don't watch it. don't watch it.
Yeah. QVC.
And then what both of you said, Sharifa, and what you said, Ali, mindfulness about this, the mindset, the mind science. Recognize there is a science that the marketers are using on you. You got to recognize it's not a small thing or a mistake that you're interested in the stuff that you're interested in. They did this to you on purpose, and they continue.
And that's their job as marketers, to play on the mindset. And they're very, very good at it. And one thing I want to share very quickly is, over the years I've had, I can't even count them on my hands and toes, the individuals when they purchase a home. Okay, first of all, a lot of them buy the more expensive home than they really can afford to buy, because their cousin or their friend or their partner got a $300,000 house, even though they need to be in a $175,000 house or $200,000. They get that, but they don't take none of the old furniture from their previous home.
Oh boy!
And they go and furnish the whole house instead of doing a room at a time, paying that off, go get the next room, or item here, the item there. They go in and just $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 in furniture or stuff that's going to furnish their home, now that's strike 2.
Yeah.
Strike 3 is to go get the car, and they ain't getting no Ford or no Toyota. They got to get the Benz, the BMW, the Infiniti, the Range Rover, Cadillac trucks, and now they're at a point to where they dig the hole so deep that there's no way out.
Yeah, and keep that for the next segment. And somebody chimed in on that too. So we definitely want to continue that discussion in the next segment of best practices, because I think that's a big deal when people put themselves in the hole.
Yep.
And they don't realize. I think it's that's why it's the topic is psychological.
Yes,
psychology is spending, because I think what they're trying to do is they're actually not accomplishing it, which means they have to go back again and spend more money.
Right.
So let's pick that up in our next segment. Our next segment, sponsored by MotivatorLifestyle.com. Let's get into their... At the heart of the Motivator Lifestyle Company is motivation. Our mission is to inspire and empower individuals through the clothing and messages we create. We believe that by wearing our apparel, our customers will feel a sense of self-awareness, become more active, and engage in shaping their own world. Join us in spreading motivation and positivity through our unique and inspiring clothing line. Together with Strongly Financial, we can create a world where everyone is empowered to be the best version of themselves. Bart, get us into that.
Best practices. Stick to your budget strategies. Prepare to enter the realm of financial mastery in our esteemed Best Practices segment. As purveyors of knowledge and expertise, we are dedicated to arming you with a comprehensive toolkit of stick-to-your-budget strategies, empowering you to assume command of your finances and fortify your financial stability. With a laser focus on practical and actionable methods, our aim is to equip you with the necessary tools to establish and maintain a resilient budget. Through our meticulously curated strategies, you will gain the confidence needed to navigate the complexities of financial challenges, safeguarding your financial objectives and ensuring they remain attainable. By adopting these proven strategies, you will transcend the realm of uncertainty and embrace a future grounded in financial empowerment and security. Join us as we delve into the intricacies of budgeting, unveiling the pathways to financial resilience and prosperity. Together, we will forge a steadfast approach to financial management, safeguarding your financial well-being for years to come. Now, back to you.
Now this comment came in from Herb. I think he's kidding, but I think it's a really important piece to engage with people on. He said, but what if you can own it in 4 easy payments? And that's your point. I think that's partly the marketing thing, but then why is it that works on us? I think it's what you were saying before the break. It's this idea that we already had in our mind. We're wanting to be sold,
right?
Because we want to compete with the people around us, and we have this vision. But the solution is actually in that psychology.
Right.
But go ahead and what is that we're feeling when we're in that competition mode, and we have this competition? We're going to win regardless of whether we can maintain it or not. What's going on with us?
Well, and that's one of the issues that we're faced with, because when we talk about especially this mindset of this generation, but it's not just this generation, it's been happening for generations. But this generation is the microwave effect. They don't want to wait, they don't want to be patient, they don't want to process, they don't want to trust the process, they want to be able to go and get it now, right now. And if it's really like a double sword edge. Yeah, we got the income tax that we're gonna spend all that money on stuff, but even without the income tax, we're still spending majority of our income on stuff that don't bring us any value. But now we can take it a step further because now there's credit that's associated with it. So now I can go and get something today and I can pay for it later. But we don't understand that me paying it later or paying it over a course of time, that the finance charges that's going to be added on top of that is putting us further in the hole, because majority of, I think I made a statement a couple series ago that 65% of all individuals who have credit cards or loans, they pay the minimum balance. So if you look at the minimum balance, if I'm paying a $300 car note, especially in the beginning, I mean, $250 of that might be going to finance charges, or $225 based on the interest rate. So my principal balance is really going down very, very low. And look at all the money that I'm kind of wasting because I'm not patient. I'm not saying I don't have a plan of action for this to work out for me. I'm just going to dive in all the way. I'll deal with the consequences down the road. And most of the time, we're going to lose. Most of the time, we don't have a plan of action to bag up this purchase that we just went out and went to the store and was like, you know what? I like that. I'm gonna get it. It's $1,500. I don't have $1,500, but I got it on my credit card. And no.
And I think that's the hard thing for people, because someone has to get it to help you, maybe if you don't have a sense of it, to know what are the important things. And like for example, in my story with the friends that I invited over, for some reason we called it movie night. I should have called it board game night.
Right.
And those friends, like, I still know those friends, they would have appreciated the board night, board games.
Right.
But we could have done that on the floor.
Yeah.
For some reason, I had it in my mind that they needed a couch and we needed a bigger TV and we needed to watch movies. I don't really know what that was, but I think it's the wisdom, and that's what I mean by having somebody to tell you. Listen to some older people, with more maturity, that can tell you, dude, that doesn't matter. Like, that's not that important. When people come to your house, anybody who is going to clown you about not having furniture, don't invite them over.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Invite. I remember as I matured, by the time I bought my first house, we didn't have furniture and we weren't worried about getting furniture. We were so happy to just get over the bar to the house, right?
The house.
So we were that couple that people make fun of.
Right.
They got the house, but they don't have any furniture in it. Now, granted, we had a comfortable bed because, hey, you need a comfortable bed. But living room furniture was not a thing. Dude, we had people we had dinner over at our house every Saturday. And the people that were there were happy to be there and happy to be on the floor.
Right.
On the floor. It was carpeted floor, but it was the floor. Right. We never heard any complaints, anybody make fun of us or anything. I think it was the circle of the people we had over.
Exactly.
Somebody has to help us to get to that point where we can understand the stuff that maybe we thought was important is only important to the people that we don't think are important.
Yep.
You know what I'm like, right? Yep. So that it's a hard sell, but I think
Really,
that's a big thing. And specifically, let me get your feedback on this real quick. To the idea of putting it in layaway or paying it over time or putting it on credit. There is a decision process about what's really important, even if something isn't an asset and it doesn't bring us value. Like
right.
I keep saying, if you have a good mattress, I don't need you to have a good bed.
Right.
But if that mattress is on the floor, I need you to have a good mattress at least.
Right.
Right. So I'm saying that brings value, even though it's not an appreciating asset. And if you can budget for that, that's really the point I think is important. So if that means you got to put that on credit, but you have a plan for paying it off,
Yes.
if you have it in your budget and you can wait till the end of the month and the third paycheck, because you can save up $100 per paycheck in
Right.
order to buy that mattress.
Right.
These are some of the strategies to do some of this without succumbing to the marketing, the credit, and that interest rate hole that you can put yourself into.
Well, and I mean, I still think a lot of it is peer pressure, lack of knowledge, based on how much does bad credit or debt really cost me over time. Not looking at that part of it, and definitely not budgeting. I mean, if you got 80%, 75% of people in this country that don't budget, they don't have a plan of action. They're basically depending on their paycheck, and a lot of them are living paycheck to paycheck because they are of spending money on things that not necessarily has to be, like I said, a asset. A comfortable bed is worth having, worth me putting on credit and paying for it over time, as long as I still have a plan. Now, I'm not gonna go get no $6,000 mattress.
Right.
Get a $1,500 mattress, be comfortable for me, or $750, whatever it's going to be in your budget. But all the other stuff that goes around that, I mean, I think a lot of time we get caught up in trying to impress our friends, our family members, individuals, saying that, okay, man, they got a nice crib, man, they moved, they got furniture, all new furniture.
Yep.
But the individual who, like you, got a bed, was sitting on the floor, having a good time with friends and family, you're going to have that house longer than those individuals who have decided to go out and just spend $1,000.
It's real.
No, yeah, seriously.
It's real.
Yeah, it's real.
And that's the thing. And I wouldn't say I'm cheap. My mama would say I'm cheap. But my mattress was $238 on Amazon, and I thought it was a pretty good mattress.
Right. Yeah. It don't have to be in the thousands or the high, I mean, as long as it's a good comfort mattress. And that's the point that we're really trying to stress to individuals. I mean, you don't really understand the importance of budgeting and where your money is going. You can still acquire items that you want, not necessarily what you need, but you have to plan for that. I can't just on the whim just go out and just start spending money that I don't have, and then sweating and stressing about bill collectors calling you now because you can't pay the monthly bill or the note. It's just too much pressure on you when you go out and do it that way.
Yeah. And you're hitting the next one too, the spending, tracking your spending, knowing where your money's going. Now you got the budget, so that second thing is know what you're spending even as your money is coming in and out.
Yes.
And then that last best practice, I think, is really important. And you hit this one as well. And this is one that you're hitting in your training, I know too.
Oh, most definitely.
The financial goals become really important. Know what you're really looking at. If you're looking at maintaining your house, well, don't go and spend all your money.
Right.
Like, the story that I was telling earlier about the young lady who is just getting back on her feet. Sweetheart, please don't spend all your money.
Right.
you need some cash flow for, the times throughout this year, whatever's going to happen. You want to be sure that you have the cash flow to cover that. You want to have a cushion.
Right.
Like I always say, I'm not one who says save money just to be saving it, but make sure you have a cushion. My challenge with my best friend is we're in a race to $10,000. We're each seeing who can save $10,000 first, and that is a best practice situation in the context of a challenge,
right?
Because it will require tracking your spending, having that budget, and the goal is to save that 10,000 because of some of the trips and the types of opportunities we want to engage in.
Yes.
And that's our way of keeping ourselves accountable, but also really looking toward some real gains and some experiences in life with that money.
Yes, yes. Everything you do, I mean, you got to have a financial goal to achieve it. And I mean, over doing this for over 24 years, man, you just can't imagine how many times that people has gotten their credit scores, where they needed to be, and just balled out, buying 2 or 3 cars, car for the mom and the 2 sons, and upgrading the house, and 6 months, 9 months, a year and a half later, she's coming back like, hey, I messed up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you messed up. So we got to be consistent. We got to be disciplined, and we have to be committed to our financial goals, which that's another issue because of most of us, or a lot of us, don't have financial goals. We just going off the top, I mean, just diving in, not looking at things that might happen down the road. Now, and I want to say this part too. I know my wife is listening. I mean, you don't want to get into the lack mindset, because if you're thinking about lack all the time, then you're going to be attracting more lack. Yeah. But you still got to be smart. I mean, if I got $500 left over this month in my paycheck, I don't go and just spend the whole $500 just because I don't want to be thinking that I'm lacking. And no, that's not smart thinking.
Right. And that's that perfect segue into the final segment, because I think that's where the rubber meets the road with how you feel about it. I think I hope when people hear us talking about this and talking about, I'm looking at it as some of the things that I did that were just immature financially. It's not to beat up on anybody. I'm trying to paint the picture that this is very real. The peer pressure, to address the generational curse and the lack that you've had in your past and your family has had, and to the pressure to be that person who shows how to take care of money and you show it through the car that you drive, and people give you kudos for that. I know that's a real pressure. So let's get into that in our third segment and give people the reality that we know what it's like, right? So
yes, sir.
Before we get into that, let's get our sponsor, Coach Matrix.
We can say it one of 2 ways. Option 1, you're standing in your own way. You are the bottleneck. Or option 2, you're standing in between your present struggle and your future contentment. You are the breakthrough. Both statements hold true, but they diverge in perspective. They also influence how you perceive your past, present, and future. By adopting a trauma-informed approach that acknowledges you as a complex adaptive system, you can unravel the enigma that is your unique self and identify choices aligned with your sustainable development. In other words, you can answer the tough questions. Who am I? What do I want from life? Who is my tribe? The approach is readily available It's called the Coach Method, created by me, Dr. Michael A. Wright. However, the effectiveness of any intervention ultimately relies on your perspective and the lens through which you see the world. Coach Matrix recognizes that you may not currently possess the empowerment to shape your perspective or color your path within the confines of predefined boundaries. With the support of the Coach Matrix community, you'll sharpen the tools and leverage the guidance needed to navigate your journey towards personal and professional growth. By unleashing your potential and harnessing your natural capacity for change and integration, you can create a present of fulfillment and a future of consistency. Coach Matrix is empowerment. Informed by the well-researched Matrix 5x5 program, Coach Matrix empowers you to identify capacity, harness capability, embrace joy, and foster creativity. You will unlock your full potential and achieve the transformative outcomes you seek. So let's get you empowered. Matrix 5x5 is the program of systematic evolution. Coach Matrix is the community of support. It's all here at CoachMethod.com.
Yeah, really excited about CoachMethod.com and the 2 trainings up right now that are ongoing. The losing yourself and losing them, finding yourself. That's the one training. And then the happiness choice is up there right now too. Ongoing training. So loading daily. Bart, get us into this teachable moments. I got a couple of comments that we need to get into, and we're going to talk about this kind of generational stuff and this competition and how we might address it.
Certainly, Dr. Wright. Teachable Moment, emotional triggers on financial decisions. Welcome to our esteemed Teachable Moment segment, where we delve into the fascinating interplay between emotions and financial decisions. In this thought-provoking segment, we will shed light on the profound impact of emotional triggers on our financial choices, providing you with a nuanced understanding that can shape your long-term financial goals. By unraveling the complex relationship between emotions and financial behavior, we empower you to make conscious decisions tailored to your unique circumstances. Armed with this invaluable knowledge, you can align your actions with your financial aspirations and chart a course towards a secure and balanced future. Join us on this enlightening journey as we explore the transformative power of emotional awareness in financial decision-making. Learn how to navigate the ever-changing landscape of emotions, cultivating a mindset that leverages clarity, mindfulness, and emotional intelligence to fuel your journey towards financial success. Together, let's unlock the strategic role that emotional triggers play in shaping a prosperous and fulfilling financial future. Take it away, gentlemen.
Thanks, Bart. I think Bart's getting even better.
Yes.
I'm like, okay. I mean, you kind of broke that down, bro. Thanks for that.
Doing it, man. Bart doing it.
Bart, let me get you to respond to this comment right off the bat. The feeling, and I like how she put the feeling in quotes, because that's really what's going on. The feeling that's associated with what's going on in your life to help people walk through this, Ali?
She just keep putting me on the spot here. Thank you, Bree. Well, and like Bart just basically stated, it's the emotions that are tied with the things that we're trying to do or where we are right now in life. It's the feeling of where we are. So if we in a bad place, it's the feelings that has us there and keeping us there. If we're feeling grateful, if we're feeling prosperous, then we'll be in a better place. Now we might not be in a better place financially right now, but it's a state of mind, and it's all tied to your feelings and your emotion. And when people go out and just spend on a binge or at the drop of a hat, it's got some emotions that they're dealing with, whether it's some family issues or some work issues, or they're not happy with their life, so they thinking that going out and buying this and buying that is going to, really help them get over this situation. But it's the feeling that's tied to it that's keeping them from maintaining or elevating, but it's also keeping them from making these impulsive decisions to spend money that they don't have.
Yeah. And I think people really are honest in their situations. And I think with that, the hardest thing is when you're up. Like, that's why tax time is such a big deal, because when you're up, you really do get that feeling like, I'm never gonna be down again.
Right.
Like I'm buying steak today because I couldn't buy it then, and they ain't gonna keep me down forever. You know what I'm saying? I can't blame anybody for that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's a real thing, like you were saying. Like, if your emotions are tied into it, and I don't care, Ali, you ain't gonna tell me what to do with my money. And,
I've heard that.
I feel people on the autonomy of that. But listen to what we're saying. We are not saying that you're broke, busted, and disgusted, and you're always going to be there. That's not what we're saying.
Right.
We're saying hold that money for a minute and hold it strategically.
Right.
And use it in a disciplined way
for
a period of time, and you will be able to sustain your baller status.
Right.
Yes. That's what we're saying. Like, if you got the money to buy 3-4 cars and put a down payment on a house, great. All we're saying is the house is more important.
Yep.
Start there. Don't worry about the cars for a minute. Right? It's like we're not saying you can't have anything. I think that's another piece of where people get caught up.
Yes.
Like Sharifa said, tax time is euphoric. Like, and so you hear a financial planner or a financial coach saying, no, you can't have fun. It's not good to have fun. No, that's not. You're missing what we're saying.
Right.
That's
We're not saying that.
Look, you hearing us through the lens of trauma. Like, put those Bose headphones off for a second, and listen to us with what we're really saying. You can have fun. You can enjoy your money. You can enjoy your life, and there's a sustainable choice set around that. It's not just about the good feeling and the money you got now going all in with the spending willy-nilly. No, you got the good feeling, you got the money, and strategic spending.
Right.
That still gets you to have the fun that you want to have, and keeps you on track to where you can continue to build. And so the last thing I want to make sure we get in here is give people a little bit about this thing that you've talked about a couple, and I haven't really given you the space to talk about it. So I want to make sure I give you the space to talk about that today, Ali. When you talk about assets as opposed to liabilities, so help us understand when we take a moment and we recognize our emotional states, as some of the things for us to look at, and then we take this moment to pause and reflect. What are you talking about when we're talking about assets that we can be building and making our money work for us instead of just using it to buy stuff?
Right. And that's really one of the things that we need to put more focus on. When we have our money and we're spending, and assets are things that bring you value now and in the future. Those are assets. So it's going to bring you additional income for what you've invested into it. A liability is not going to bring you any value today or in the future. And a lot of times we get so caught up on the material things that people look at and say, man, he got on a Gucci shoes, a Gucci belt, a Gucci hat, Louis Vuitton, red bottoms. These items are liabilities. Cars are liabilities. Once you buy a car and drive it off, you can drive around the corner and bring it back and say you don't want it. You've lost 15 to 20% value of that vehicle. So, and we're not talking about antiques, and that's something different. Most of us are not buying cars that's going to be antiques. So we got to look at what we're spending our money on, and is this going to do anything for me other than make me happy or impress somebody for a period of time? Or am I putting my money in something that is going to bring me a value? Stocks, bonds, investing into high-end life insurance policy that's going to increase my value and not allow me to lose money with this investment. Those are the things that we're looking at when it comes to assets. We just spend too much money on things that don't bring us any value. And a lot of it is based on our mindset of impressing people. They really don't like you, don't care nothing about you, but you're trying to impress them.
Yeah.
But in the process, you're struggling financially.
Yeah.
Because you're living a life that you're renting, that you don't own. And that's the part we got to make a difference in. It's not all about name brand. You know what I'm saying? That's another marketing, tip. And I used to be caught up at one period of time in my life. If it wasn't Gators on my feet, or $1,500, $2,000, $3,000 suits, I wouldn't wear them.
Mm-hmm.
But look at how the money that I blew over that period of time of doing that for 10 years. And half of them suits end up going to the Goodwill.
Mm-hmm.
Or to a charity or to a church. It didn't bring me no value back. I couldn't sell them for what I paid for them. You know what I'm saying? So that's the mindset that we really, really got to look at that part of it. And if we look at the amount of money that we make, African Americans, $1.3, $1.5 trillion annually, that's legally. I ain't talking about the illegal money that we make, but we spend probably 70% of that on stuff that don't bring us any value. So it's something that we really got to change.
Yeah, and bringing value. And like one example I would use, like if you're intent on impressing people, well, we got a market for you now. Become an influencer. If you're gonna post it on the internet, post it, build a following, and make money. Get endorsement.
Right. That's different. Yeah.
If you're gonna do it for real.
Right.
Do it in a way that actually brings you some value back.
Exactly.
That's partially tongue in cheek. That's partially a joke. But the more important thing is really to look at the ways that you support yourself in coping in the ways that you spend money.
Right.
So exercising, you don't need the best Nordic track, exercise equipment like we talked about last week. Calisthenics, you
Right.
using your
Push
own
ups.
body weight.
Right. Yeah.
Journaling, talking to a friend, starting a TikTok, or Instagram if TikTok is going to get out of here. Doing something that has the showiness and the showing people a healthy lifestyle without the purchases and the
right.
that kind of thing. Like you said, you're only showing it to the people who can't stand you and you can't stand them.
Right.
You got to expand your audience if you're going to do that. But really finding ways to cope and make yourself feel good about who you are, what you're doing, and doing that alongside a financial foundation that's moving forward and giving you the returns that you want out of life. Preparing a place for your children's children.
Exactly.
As they were. Right?
What's important. That's
what's our final thought getting out of here?
It's not about us per se. It's about our children, our grandchildren, and generations to come. So we have to be the example for them because they're gonna learn from what we do, just like we learn from what our parents and grandparents did, and family, friends, and loved ones around us in the circle. We got to have a different mindset. We got to be able to educate them on what's important. And we're not saying don't enjoy life, don't do, but you have to have a plan in place because, like I ended up last week, either I can live now, that means spend everything I make. Once I get older, I'm gonna sacrifice my golden years, or I can kind of sacrifice now. And sacrifice don't mean you don't do nothing. It's just planning, being disciplined, commitment, budgeting. So when I get to my golden ages, so now I can really enjoy and reap the benefits of what I've sown back then.
Yeah, definitely. That's probably I'm gonna do that. Let's do that next week, like retirement now, and how to show people how to enjoy the now in a responsible way, so that you can continue that enjoyment into your golden years.
Right.
Smart stuff. Thank you for that, Brother Ali. Pleasure as always.
Always, my brother.
Connect with you next week.
Yes, sir.
All right, man.
Thank you.